Hi, I'm Dennis, and in this video I'm going to show you how to assemble the salad bar. So first thing, unwrap everything, lay all your components out, and for this job you will need a Phillips screwdriver and an 8mm spanner as well, an 8mm spanner, just to put the frames together. Alright, so you'll notice with the frames we've got 4 long, 4 medium and 4 short pieces. So the first ones we're going to use is the 4 long pieces, and you'll see that they've got holes at the top and down the bottom, or in the middle I should say, and that they're offset. You've got a hole there and a hole there, and we're going to first pop on our brackets. So you've got 8 of these brackets. They're all the same, all the holes are aligned same in the brackets, and all you want to do is line up the bracket so that the holes align. You can see there we've got that hole aligned and that hole aligned. We just want to make sure that your brackets are aligned and the pointy bits face down on every leg. So we'll just pop a bolt through. We'll then get a washer and a nut. We'll do that for that. The second one. And we'll just hand tight that. Put on there. We don't want to tighten this up right until the end, where we'll tighten everything up together. The next part, grab another bracket. Make sure it's orientated the same direction, so this pointy end to where the ground's going to be, and slide it down to here till the holes align. And we'll do the same thing. And there you have it. So far we've used our 4 bolts, our 4 washers and 4 nuts, 2 brackets. There you go. Now we just want to do that to all the long legs. Alright, so there we have it. There's my 4 legs, 8 brackets on, just finger tight at the moment. Here we go. Right, so the next part that we want to do, now you can grab your medium or your shorts, it doesn't really matter. I find it easy if you just grab your short legs here, and you'll see that they've got 2 holes, or 4, but 2 bolt holes at each end. We just want to sit that into that bracket there, pop a bolt through there, a washer, and of course a nut onto there. We'll do that with those 2. It does take a little bit of time, so just pause the video at any stage. There we go. Once again, don't tighten these just yet. You can see they won't be quite flush up against this piece here yet, but it doesn't matter. So we'll do that with another short piece. Just make sure that if you're going to start with the shorts, start and finish with the shorts in this phase. There we go. So we've got 2 on there. Now I just want to grab one of my other legs here, and we're going to put that on there and that on there. So we're just creating one end to our garden here. Do the same thing. Just screw these together. There we go. Never fear, it might still feel a little bit wonky, of course, because we haven't tightened anything up yet. So we just want to do that times 2. Grab our other 2 legs and our other short legs. Okay, so I've got my 2 end pieces of the frame done. Now we want to grab our medium length, and we're going to do the same thing on each of these, which will almost finish our frame off. Like I say, always ensure that the bolts go from the outside to the inside, so the nuts are always going to be on the inside of the frame. Now, one thing with the medium legs, you'll find that you've got a salad table sticker on one of them, so you just want to make sure on whichever side's going to be the front of it, just ensure that the salad table sticker faces to the outside so you can show it off to all your family and friends. All right, all 4 legs are on. Now it's just a matter of getting our other frame, popping him on top like so, and we'll put the last of our nuts and bolts and washers on there. Okay, that's the last one in there. So I've got all the nuts and bolts on every corner, upper and lower, and we'll just turn this over now and we'll go around and we'll tighten up each nut and bolt. There we go. All right, they're all nice and tight. Now I should point out as well that you need to sit this on a nice flat surface, and this is a good time to sit that on that flat surface when you do these up, just to make sure it's all nice and sturdy. Now that's a real sturdy frame now. All right, the next step is we're going to grab our, I'd call them feet, but they're not actually feet, they're going to sit on top. So those little plugs that sit in the top, and we just want to pop them in to each corner at the top there. Just takes away those sharp edges at the top of the frame and neatens it up. And we have our 2 bases, and you notice one base has 2 holes in the bottom. That's going to be for the top level. We're going to pop the top one in, just sits in there nice and neatly, and then your hole, so I'm putting the hole closest to me at this stage. In the next base we have a single hole on that one, so I'm going to pop that down here. The hole is going to be, so I've got a hole in here, a hole in here, and directly underneath will be this hole here. So don't put it over the other side, make sure it's on the same side as the other 2 holes in the top. Pop that on there. Easy as that. So the next part we'll get to, we're going to grab our plumbing, and you can see here we've got 4 pre-made pieces. Now what you want to do is just put the 2 with the hose fittings away for the moment. We'll get to them later. Now you want to grab, you'll see there's only one with the thread end in there. So you want to get that thread end there, and that's going to go on there. But before you do that, we want to put some thread tape around here. So we're just going to wrap our thread tape around the thread. No, just a rule of thumb, I suppose, probably maybe half a dozen times or 6, whatever tickles your fancy. There we go, like that. We'll get our threaded end and we'll screw that on there. And at this point it's always a good idea, we'll just get that nice and tight, it's always a good idea to open this tap too. So you can adjust this tap to open and close. So at the moment that's in the open position when it's pointing straight down or with the flow. There you go. The next part is, this fitting here has a longer end and a shorter end. So we want to make sure that the longer end sits at the top, and the shorter end, we're just going to pop that piece in there. Hopefully this is nice and focused, and just push that on so it's nice and tight. There we have it. Now we're going to unscrew this part. We're going to take this washer off because we want to make sure that the washer is on the inside of the tank as well. Then we'll grab the threaded end. And we're going to push the threaded end up from the bottom. Maybe screw it and turn it a little bit, pop it through. Makes it easy if you just turn it like this as well. Until you'll feel it pretty much bottom out. There we go. Now we're going to get the washer. If there is any debris, like any little plastic flakes there, just try and get rid of as much as you possibly can. Put that washer back over the thread. There's no requirement for thread tape on this next bit because it won't leak. And then the threaded end will now go over the thread, and you want to get that nice and tight. So now we're going to grab one of our fittings. These are identical, so it doesn't matter which one you use. And once again, we'll unscrew that. We'll take the rubber washer off. We're going to pop the black bit up from the bottom. We'll stick the washer on top. Just make sure that the closest end of the thread, not the furthest end. So where the thread starts on that end there, we just want to make sure that that is down over the top of the fitting. So now we've got our feeder pipe in here. At the other end, we have a drainage tube, and then directly underneath here, we're going to put this other fitting in. So same deal. Unscrew the black fitting, take the washer off, black fitting up from underneath, washer back on. You can screw this from the bottom while holding the washer as well. It might make it a little bit easier just to get it nice and secure. Closest end, the thread where the thread starts, will be over the fitting. And we'll screw that on so it's nice and tight. Now if you do find that these do leak, just give them a bit of a nip up and it will stop that. We'll next grab our two pieces of rubber hose. You can see you've got a long and you've got a short. So we want to use a long one first. We're going to come back to the fitting that we put in the back here. And we'll just pop that on there. And then the short piece of hose is going to go on the lower tray. And that'll be the drainage. We can then grab our 4 lids, and you'll see that 3 of the lids are identical, but one of them has this little hole down in the bottom corner here. So this little hole is going to be underneath the long piece of hose. So we'll pop that at the back here to start. Put the long piece of hose through there. And the first lid goes on. And the rest of these, it doesn't really matter. We can then grab our pump and then screw the little fitting in. I don't bother using any thread tape on this one. Just sort of nip it up hand tight. We'll grab our container. We're just going to take the lid off and we're going to put the power cord for the pump through the bottom of the lid, and I'm just going to pull that all the way through. We can place the pump into the tank. Now we're going to grab our feeder line here, the one that goes to the top, and we're also going to put it through the hole here. And at the same time, multitasking, we're just going to put the feeder line on top of the pump like so. So we've got our feeder line coming out and our power cord coming out. We'll put that just here, and then we've got our drainage pipe here that lets all the water out from the system to go back in here. Pop that in the top there, and you can see, and you can bring this around here, it doesn't really matter. You can see we've got 3 components coming out of the lid there. And that's our assembly part complete. All right, the next part, we just want to fill up our nutrient containers with some water. Just fill them up to pretty close to the top, and then give them a really, really good shake, and that'll make up your nutrient concentrate. Then it's time to fill up the nutrient container down the bottom here, and a good tip as well is that these trays also hold a fair bit of water, so fill them up as well. You can then add your nutrients, so all you're going to do is add 100, you want 100 ml of A and 100 ml of B into the nutrient tank, and that just equates to 2 full caps of A and 2 full caps of B in there. When it comes time to top up your nutrient tank with water, you just want to use proportionate amounts, so it's 2.5 ml of A and 2.5 ml of B per litre of water. Now, it's not an exact science, a guesstimation is fine. It's got it on here, how much to use, 2.5 ml of A, 2.5 ml of B. Easy. You can then start your pump and make sure it all flows, you don't have any leaks, and you're good to start growing. And don't forget to watch our video on how to grow your own seedlings. Now, if you get a little bit impatient, which I always do, you can also just go and buy some dirt-grown seedlings from the local hardware store or your nursery. Wash the dirt off, just pop them straight into a basket, stick the basket in there. But meanwhile, you'll be growing your own seedlings in the grow cubes that we've also provided here as well. All right, if you've got any questions or you need a hand, any extra information, you can jump on our website, and if you look for the help icon up the top, jump in there, and it's got everything salad table, troubleshooting, tips, tricks, assembly videos, where I'm going to put this one as well. All right, so enjoy your salad bar.